Gemini. So this is my first broken up, I don't know, video doll repaint. So if you like the look, I've got a separate video for the outfit and the wig. So Gemini, the twins. So it's kind of a character that's half one way, half the other. So it could be two twins, could be one person. Did you know you can absorb your twins? I did that. Wish I had a twin. I'd rather have that. So it's masculine. So I kind of thought masculine, air, mutable, Mercury. So I was thinking very changeable but masculine. So someone that changes their mind quite often but is very secure in their opinions. Very confident and you know, someone, I wasn't going to say full of themselves, but you know, someone that's secure in themselves. Not a negative thing. It was originally going to be split into red and white. Oh, red and black. However, I changed it to white and black because I have this really nice material of kind of little glittery roses, and I've got it in white and black, so I changed that up. And yeah, so I was originally, I had ended up doing different hair because I got some hair in and I was just like, it's split, it's got an ombre instead of being split down the middle, and quite honestly, work's been going, and I was just like, I ain't got time for rerouting, so a wig. So that changed, and I was going to make an eye patch, but I decided to leave it as one character because it's one character that represents two characters, not two characters on one doll, though that is also a cool concept. So that's about the explanation. We get into the repaint. We kind of get in one layer deep because apparently I didn't record it, so I just did the basic shape. I basically already showed you in the pre-design. One thing I've been doing now is taking a photo of the blank head and then literally drawing it on. I know what the shapes would make sense because I already know what it's going to look like. I was really happy actually. I think this is the most symmetrical repaint I've ever done, which I guess is good and bad because this is the one where I could have had two different expressions on two halves of face, but it's the time that I actually didn't. So that's just life for you. Sorry for my head bumping in, I don't know. Not the best look, but looking good. I'm trying hard to improve on my fine line skills, and I think I do need to get a new set of pencils and probably definitely a better white because my white is not that good. One thing I would say that I've learnt through the watercolour pencils is that you don't necessarily need a certain brand of pencil sharpener. It actually works quite well if you just, I mean, if you have to have a mediocre pencil sharpener, but make sure that you have a reasonably not too hard, not too soft lead. And then we're getting into pastels, which I think really does make a difference if they're expensive. On Delightful's recommendation, I got, well, not personal recommendation obviously, I got the Mangio soft pastels, and they're pretty good. You can get a set on eBay for about £60, I think. I got it for my Christmas birthday present last year, so I've been using them for about a year, and I think you can see that in the amount of blushing and increased use of pastels. And one thing I've learned about that is I mean, I think I learnt it basically in this doll repaint, is that this tiny little brush is perfect. You really want, I mean, I was using larger soft fluffy brushes, but actually this kind of compact, more lining brush works really well because they've got such tiny little heads. They, like, you can just do that. You can just flop it on. You don't need to do it in a big patch. You can be more precise, and I've really liking the it's something people in actual makeup are doing, but basically where you've got a little pink nose and then you don't have a pink bridge up until kind of half, like near your eyes, Hopefully you'll see that. You'll see that definitely a few layers in, but basically it's blush on cheeks and a little bit towards the eye, and then it goes over, kind of like glasses. And yeah, and this is another experimentation I did. I tried using this spongy applicator that everyone had in the 90s, and it didn't work that well. I expected it to go better, but I don't think it picks up the pigment and then lets go of it. I think it just picks it up. Now, if you've watched a few of my repaints, you know I don't really use acrylic because I mean, at this point it's just because I'm not good at it. So this is an example of I'm not good at it, and you'll see why. But I was so close. I wasn't... You know, I'm a very impatient person. I'm not really, but I'm a slightly impatient person. I had this lovely thin layer, and then I'm just globbing it on because I want it to be opaque. I'm an idiot. Like, quite honestly, a few layers in, I end up ripping it with pencil because I'm an idiot. Please listen to my advice and just do multiple thin layers like I was doing, because I'm an idiot. I'm someone that's that's a big picture person, and I don't care that much about details, which is a problem because I do care about details when it actually comes down to it. Which, I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, there's quite a few little mistakes that I've made. However, these are not them. The little white mark on the lips and the nose, as well as these really fine... this is a new brush that I got on eBay. I think it's a nail brush set. Look, I would always say look for good, like really thin brushes for doll repaints, and using some white to basically create the little shine dots, the highlights, is so much fun. And putting just a white layer, and then you can put a layer of colour on top and make it look extra cute. Getting into the second, more monstrous / spoopy eye. I think I was making this over, or at least beginning it in October, so spoopy. I've mixed quite a nice grey, which it actually looks better now than it looked in the end. You'll see eventually I messed it up by adding some pencil that was too light and it just wouldn't go away. This I actually came up with quite accidental, but I mixed a really nice grey colour. It wasn't... I have to say, actually, maybe adding a bit of a warm tone into it would make it slightly nicer, but to go with the more reds and pinks in the eye. But if I just left it there, if I just added detail to the iris and stuff, and also heat guns, I kind of fixed my problem of being so impatient with the acrylic. I could have just done multiple thin layers and heat gunned it, but as I said, I'm an nitwit. So see my failure, learn from my failure. Eventually, I will learn from my failures, because this is not the first time. And just more blushing and classic reinforcing. Remember to look out for the rip. Maybe it happened in this layer? Can't remember. And look at these! I've got gloves! Recommendation from Delightful again. I didn't get them until now, which is... I've been doing this for more than a year? 2 years maybe? Not that often. Oh, there's the rip. R.I.P. my iris. Too thick. If you can rip it, it's too thick. So... I'm not sure how useful the gloves are, but I think I did it kind of when I had most of the blushing already on, so I think that's the stage it's more useful in. I'm not sure. But yeah, I could not do my fingernails, which you will see over the next few videos. I have not been consistent with my fingernails. They have been breaking, I've been cycling, and this is the start of the end. It was fine. I really, one thing I had in my design was, it's too light, don't put it on the grey, me, Teresa, no. But yes, see my failures, learn from my failures, and I really wanted a shadow, and I guess I am making shadow by putting it on too light, but I think it's partially that it's slightly blue tinged, and it's just no, I think it bled a little with the white, and I'm just like made a mess of this. But I'm trying to get more realism, and yeah, this is where bleeding happens. I'm trying to remove my accident and making it worse. But I really wanted to do some shadows on the eyes and just work a bit more on having a consistent style with the... I don't know, I think I do have a reasonably consistent style for my dolls. One thing that, especially across this series, the Zodiac series, is the eyelashes, which you'll see at the end. I add them just at the end, they're just one layer. And I'm actually introducing that into my normal art. This is part of my eye style, my art style, to just have stylistic eyelashes. And I think another thing that is quite consistent across my dolls is quite thick shaped eyebrows, and I tried it out. It's always good to experiment and see what could look nice, and I'm someone that has thick THICC eyebrows. They're dark, they're luscious, they're healthy, and I just don't suit the aesthetic of non-dominant eyebrows. You quickly get a sneak peek of my sharpener brand. I think I've had this for like 5 years, if not more. And then reinforcing the eyelashes. One thing I did is I was trying to keep the pink in there, but then I put brown on top, and I think it kind of... it's not that thick, but I wish it had... it didn't really come out the colour that I wanted. One thing that I have quite a lot of problem with these doll repaints is how much colour contrast there is. Something that's, I think, very evident in this repaint is that it's not consistent. The eyebrows and the blushing and cheeks are very, very soft, and then this is an extremely strong eye, and I don't know, I think it's something I need to work on. Like, usually I just have a softer eye, but I do want to go into the kind of more acrylic, more pigmented, so I don't know. It's something that's very different, that I don't really have the same problem when it's just drawing, so it's something that I'll be working on, trying to improve. I'll keep you updated, because I just blabber on when this is voiceover-ing. Now, not that you can see it because my fingy's in the way. I've recently been calling things like chicken fingies. I think that's the problem. Sorry if you're offended by me saying fingies. Is it offensive? It's just a bit weird. I work at a school. Not that they say, it's a secondary school, so they don't say fingies either. I should stop talking about the repaint. I failed an eyelash, basically, is what happened over the last few seconds. I rubbed it off, and we're gonna try again. So for this one, they have 2 pointy triangle eyelashes each, and I think what I was trying to do is create those overlapping, it's actually 4 eyelashes making 2 triangles kind of a look. And I think it did work better to like overextend and then remove the overextension. Like, I'd recommend that if this is what you're going for. And yeah, try out being stylistic. try to do what you can when it comes to repaints, because no one's ever gonna make the same doll. Like, just the supplies, what you're trying to achieve, the colours, like there's so many things that go into a doll repaint that yours gonna look cute. And even if it doesn't look cute, it'll have its own place in your heart. Like the unicorn one that I made, which I will remake eventually when I think that I could improve it to the level that I think suits the quite nice polymer clay ears and unicorn horn that I gave it. So maybe in 6 months, basically, maybe when I have time off work. And yeah, I added a bit of blue. I think I went on a bit too strong, because usually it really fades down, but it didn't fade down as much this time. I don't know why. And I think using the kind of packing brush definitely does help with the vibrancy, so should have done it a bit gentler. But in the end, I think she's cute. And you now get to see her outfit and wig. And yeah, so you can look up and see my cat interrupting the shoot, and yeah, you can watch the videos for the other stuff. And I hope you liked it. Follow me on Instagram, you can follow me here, and I hope you had a good time. So bye Guru, bye guys, and thank you, come again.